back again to count down a specific amount of coasters that rank well. That's how we're going to explain my top 20. But usually I'm sat there giving my top 10 favourite coasters. One time I tried to give my top 20 and I ended up cutting half of them out because the video was about 25 minutes long. But this time I'm going to try as much as I can to actually give you my top 20. And also, quickly, congratulations everyone on their GCSE results. Got mine back as well. Really happy for how I did. Hope everyone else did really well as well. You're probably going to see me in this video somehow fail an English exam, because if you can't tell, I am a bit tired and I've probably already started speaking another language. So at number 20 we have Formula at Energylandia. It's a Vekoma launch coaster and it packs a punch for how small it is. It launches you off, has quite a few inversions. Each inversion is quite whippy. There's one towards the end which, towards the end of the inversion, you literally feel like you're going to fall out of your seat because it just whips you around in such a way that it does that. At number 19 is Sheikra at Busch Gardens. This one right here, I'm actually going to utilise my green screen in this top 20 because, cool. This ride only did it once, so can't really have a place to rank it too high, which is why you'll see that another dive coaster comes over it, which is a lot smaller. But it was a very good ride. The drop is insane. Oh, I'm going to use that word a lot. At number 18 is Black Mamba at Phantasialand. This is a B&M inverted coaster, and it's in an African themed area, and it goes within the rocks. There's a vertical loop round a bridge, which is really cool. Everything about that ride, it doesn't react with the terrain, it interacts. See, I told you I've already failed this exam. At number 17 is Oblivion the Black Hole at Gardaland in Italy. Now, as said, this is a lot smaller of a B&M dive machine, yet I've put it over Sheikra. The reason why is because I got way more rides on it in different rows, different seats than I did Sheikra. Very good ride. Love the soundtrack as you walk up into the main station building, and it's just overall a really good sequel to Oblivion. At number 16 we have The Swarm. This is one of 2 B&M wing coasters I've done, and it's a great ride. It does pull quite a few G's. It is intense. Round that helix into the corkscrew, and if you don't say it is, how? It just is. At number 15 we have Raptor at Gardaland. Again, back-to-back wing coasters. Raptor, personally prefer it over Swarm. The wing over drop on Swarm is very unique to itself, but I love the main drop on Raptor just because it's a normal style drop and you get whipped over at the back. At number 14 we have the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. Oh, it's going to be a long day. We have the Incredible Hulk coaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. This ride, it blew me away with expectations. I've seen it for so long. You literally, when you're a kid, you just see it everywhere, and I'm pretty sure that ride was one of the first that I ever grayed out on, so there you go. At number 13 we have Nemesis at Alton Towers. So Nemesis is like Black Mamba, it doesn't react, it interacts. Very intense on the helix down to the 0G roll over the station. Everything about that ride, it just doesn't stop. At number 12 we have another UK ride, Stealth at Thorpe Park. Now, I would only put this here specifically in the front row. Front row Stealth is brilliant. Absolutely love it. Hands up, going straight down that launch. It's like 80 miles an hour. It is 80 miles an hour. I don't know why I said it's like. The feeling of that launch in the front row, it's so forceful. Going up, you get a really nice view of the park, and then you drop straight back down again. And at 11 we have Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a B&M flying coaster. I've only done 2 of these, Air at Alton Towers / Galactica. I'm still going to call it Air. And this one. Very good ride, very well paced, lots of inversions, and the pretzel loop, especially after eating ice cream, is very intense. At number 10 we have the Smiler at Alton Towers. This is one of those ones that I brought up a lot since riding it again. I used to think it was a really good ride, but I didn't rate it too highly. It was still in my top 20, but it was way lower, maybe 16th, 17th place. Now it's 10th because I had a ride on it in the back row, which is usually known to be one of the rougher rows, and it was glossy smooth. And times I've ridden it before that, it's just a great ride. At number 9 we have Mongu at Busch Gardens Tampa in Florida. Again, another Busch Gardens coaster on here. It's a great ride, definitely the best B&M invert I've done, as you can tell from the rankings. It doesn't really follow the terrain as much as, say, Black Mamba or Nemesis, but it does do all of the inversions and elements really well, and that's why I love it a lot. It's very intense, and it's great. At number 8 is another Busch Gardens coaster, Cheetah Hunt, the Intamin Blitz coaster. This ride, it's really fun. Now, a lot of people prefer to say launch coasters are better in the front. This one, quite preferred in the back. Back row, you do get whipped over quite a lot of elements. There's obviously one inversion on it, a Heartline roll. That's really good as well. It's just a lot of that. I've got to mention it, to be fair. I do it every single time I talk about this ride. The Rhino Rally section. What a section of the ride that is. At number 7 is Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a B&M hypercoaster. Has quite a lot of airtime, quite a lot of transitions. As I say every single time I talk about it again, there's a trim brake on it, which does kind of kill some airtime, but still, airtime is still there. And towards the end, you've got some nice hills. In fact, one time I did go on it. We were going up one of the hills, and my body just limped and just flipped forward into the restraint. It kind of hurt. At number 6 is Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now, I really do love this ride, mainly because, one, it is like one of the best UK coasters we have, or the best UK coaster we have, in my opinion. And 2, everything flows so smoothly in it. You've got the 2 launches, which aren't too fast, but they're not meant to be, and every single element after and before those launches, and yeah, the station's a really good element, but yeah, every single bit of it flows really smoothly. The airtime you get on it, the whip from side to side, especially when you go into the second section, it does feel relentless to some extent. At number 5, we have Red Force. The launch is just unlike anything I've ever experienced, especially on front row when you got those goggles on. You just feel the force of it. It's obviously not as a quick acceleration as, say, Stealth, but honestly, the launch, the height, and just going back down again, what a great ride. At number 4, we have an entry that I've never actually really spoken about in a top 10, it's the only time I've ever done a top 20, to be fair. Hyperion at Energylandia. Obviously, if you have seen my most recent video before this, I did go to Energylandia recently. What a great trip that was, and Hyperion definitely ranks 4th for me. It's just a brilliant ride. You get lots of ejector airtime over each hill, especially going into that dive loop. Honestly, I was out my seat for the majority of that hill down until we hit the bottom. That's how much I was out my seat. It's really nice for such a tall ride to have such loads of the ground elements. And then also, at the end, there's a splashdown where you get absolutely soaked. At number 3, we have Shambhala at Portaventura. There was one person who is very well known for hyping it up way too much, and I didn't actually know that it was hyped up a lot before I went on it. So I went in with just medium expectation, and it definitely blew that away, and it's definitely one of my favourites I've ever been on. The floater airtime you get over those hills, and the ejector airtime hill as well towards the middle of the ride. Honestly, you're out your seat for about 5-6 seconds per hill. It's brilliant. At number 2, we have Taron at Phantasialand. Now, maybe thinking, I've talked about many times how Taron's my number 1, and it's no longer my number 1. You probably know what is my number 1, but Taron, I'd still say, is my favourite ride for re-rideability purposes, but not for everything else. It's just mental, especially after the second launch. You don't know what's happening. You hit that waterfall at the end, which is just a massive surprise anyway, and then you launch up, and then from there, turning, whipping side to side, everything is just put into that ride. You're just going under and over yourself. There's no words to describe how good it is. Re-rideability factor, what I meant by that is that I could literally lap it over and over and over again, in which I did. In 3 days of being at Phantasialand, I did Taron 35 times. I am sad. And also forgot to mention that literally most of my top 20 I've done night rides on these rides, and that does kind of play in for a factor as to whether I prefer them to other ones, and Taron's night ride does not disappoint. At number 1 is Zadra at Energylandia, the RMC iBox Hybrid, I believe they're called. And what a ride. Like, I've never come off a ride and thought, what did I just go on? That was what I felt when I came off of Zadra. Because from the drop to the brake run, I know literally it doesn't, but it honestly doesn't stop. It is that relentless. Every part of the ride, you're either getting loads of airtime or going through an inversion, just getting whipped round out of your seat. Towards the end of the ride, there's like a hill that takes you from kind of the left side of the structure to the right, and you go bank right and then you instantly bank left and then go down. And Oh my god. This was my first RMC as well, and it really gave me a good insight into why everyone hypes on these rides so much. Get one at Thorpe Park! Yeah, that is my top 20 coasters worldwide. If you want to leave your top 20s, or top 10s, top 5s, top 1s down below in the comments, then feel free to. It'd be nice to see what you guys have in differing opinions. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.